Hello Cheetah fans and welcome to yet another smashing episode of Cheetah Chase. In this month's show, we join Baron's Butchery in Langenhoven Park to celebrate their grand opening. We get to know Melusi, Mthethwa and Farhaanah Nagia a little better and to hear what their roles entail at the Toyota Free State Under-21s. OVK and Toyota invited us to Ladybrand as they unveil their brand new total garage, and we catch up with Teboho Mohoje to hear how his long road to recovery is coming along. To celebrate the launch of their brand new butchery in Bloemfontein, Barons hosted their various suppliers alongside the Toyota Cheetahs, sponsors and meat lovers at their branch, just in time for Friday.
We're here as the Cheetahs to come support Baron's opening, and we're here to support Sparta as well because they are main sponsors. And we just came here to just wish them a good start and all the best for them with the new shop that they're opening right here in Langenhoven Park, and all the best for them.
Today is our grand opening from our Langenhoven Park stock here in Bloemfontein, and it's Friday. The people are coming to get a braai meat for Monday. Sparta, known well for one of the biggest sponsors at Free State Cheetahs. They are here today to support us. We support them. We always ask our clients to buy tickets and to go support the Free State Cheetahs with the Sparta team. So all of us partnering together today to make it a successful day. Baron's se kreet. Waar is dit lekker?
Meat is meat and man must eat.
Dis Baron's se tweede tak in Bloemfontein wat vandag oopmaak. Soos julle kan sien, ons het die Cheetahs hierso, 'n paar van die ander verskaffers en dan natuurlik Sparta gebruik dan ook hierdie geleentheid op ons beef burgers te launch. Dis 'n premium produk gemaak van gesertifiseerde Angus beesvleis en julle sal dit hierso in Langenhoven Park se Barons en die oorspronklike Barons kan koop.
Ons is hierso by Barons Langenhoven Park se groot opening. Sparta is 'n groot borg van die Cheetahs en ons is hier om hulle te ondersteun. Dit is 'n great dag. Ons geniet dit baie. Ons net hier om geluk te wens vir Lerish en sy span en dat hulle dit mooi sal afskop hierso in Langenhoven Park.
Jy gaan nie 'n lekkerder burger enige ander plek proe nie.
Meet Melusi Mthethwa, a former player and rugby enthusiast turned coach and mentor. Currently at the helm of the Toyota Free State Under-21 team, Melusi has guided his young chargers to the semi-finals of the Under-21 Provincial Championship.
My love for coaching started in Potchefstroom actually. I was there as a student. I got a bursary to go there, and at some point I thought I'm going to leave the rugby a bit. So there's the guy called Hannes. He said, "Listen, just be a manager." So I became a manager at the Under-21s there. Actually, Arnos was actually the prop there. So yeah, then I became a manager and I started coaching Under-21Bs. So then I realized, but I think I might like this thing. So I got involved in Laar School, Moerevier. I went to Boys High, Potchefstroom Boys, and I coached there. And yeah, I think it grew up from there. Got involved with the Cheetahs. You know, I work with Under-32. So Under-32 came up this side and he got a post this side at 19th. So as he left, he was going to Japan, I think, yeah. And I got a call from him saying, "Listen, will be interested in the post this side." But before that, I met Rory. I think I met Rory twice, and he tried to convince me to come this side. And I thought maybe not. And when Andre called me, I thought, yeah, I think it's maybe time. I've been in Poch for long. I thought this time maybe to just see what's out there for me. The kids work hard, you know, they work very hard under the circumstances of whatever's happened, but they work really, really hard. The team is young, but there's a couple of values that we put in place and we run the team based on values. And I think that makes a big difference because then it's easier for us to sort out other things, you know. So I think the boys have contributed by great values. That's what they contributed towards what's happening in the season. It's a very young team. We've got, for example, about 521s in the team. So all the guys are in 20s. So it's been a tough time, but they're learning a lot. So, but they're contributing by being coachable. I think that's they're very nice kids and you can always work with them. So I think that's what they contributed. I think it's every coach, every coach's dream. I mean, thank you to the guys that work with me. You know what I mean, Isak and OG. Mark Nichols, you know what I mean, and a couple of Dan Iman, Dave that comes and help us. They put a lot of effort in these guys. I mean, we're all excited. I mean, it's great work. If you think about it, we've started in May, and now we're running at the end of October. It's long, so I mean you wanna get something out of it. And like I said, the boys are young, so they're doing really well, and we're happy for that. You know, I mean, we're very blessed, and I think that's the most important thing. We'll take it. We'll take it. I think it's exciting times for the boys. There's great talent. I think the Cheetahs is looking to have great players within the next coming years. I don't want to be specific and just name 1-2 kids. I think there's a couple of kids here that can take over the Cheetahs in the couple of years coming. Yes, growth, obviously they need to grow, they need to mature a bit. But you know what I mean, out of that, they're just doing really well, and they're stepping up, you know what I mean? So within the next coming years, I think you'll see a couple of these kids coming to the system. Win or lose, we've been blessed. You know what I mean? I think we being in the top 4 is really good. It shows that we're working really hard. So yeah, we want to win. That's why you're playing the sport as a competition. If the results go to our side, we'll be really happy. If not, you know what I mean? You take the processes and what happened that year and what happened in the game, and you build from there. I think we'll surprise. We'll some. We'll do something.
Staying with the under-21 team, we now get to know the person that looks after the players off the field. Physiotherapist Farhaanah Nagia has settled into the Bloemfontein lifestyle after moving here from Worcester and has established herself as part of the Cheetah setup.
I didn't really know. My love only started once I started working. As a kid, growing up in Worcester, I studied at Stellenbosch Medical Campus, and from there, you know, when dad's injured or anybody's, you know, always, okay, let me massage you, let me try and fix this, that. And from a student, I used to help with the sports and strap the guys and always be there as part of medics. So I guess from there, it's where my love sort of started for physio. Look, I was always sports active. I loved sport growing up, so I never really knew studying physiotherapy if it was the career I wanted to take on as in the sports field. But once I started working with him, getting exposed to the sport environment, I started loving it. The love grew, and that's kind of how I'm here, and I love it. Interesting story. So my concept was here in Bloem. From there, shout out to Prof. Derek Kutsia. He told me about the post and he recommended it, and that's how I applied for the Cheetahs, and lucky enough, I got the post, and that's how I stayed. My practice is based here at the Cheetahs Medical Center, so I see majority my players, but then also we see private patients at the practice here, and then I also help out with the female cricket over at the Knights next door. And now and then I'd help out with the female Cheetah rugby, their team as well. So I treat them, everybody here at the private practice here at the center. I guess like any job has its challenges. For physiotherapy, I mean, your goal is to get a player or patient to quickest recovery, and I think the challenges that I face sometimes is if a patient doesn't always recover quick enough and you got to get them on the field, or if they get re-injured. Yeah, but it's nice in the environment that I work in. There's a lot of help. So if you struggle with a patient, there's always somebody you could ask for guidance. But yeah, I love working with a variety of different people, different personalities you get to work with. It's interesting, different, you know, and I love it, you know, mixing with different people, and you learn different things, different cultures. So yeah, I think the best part of my job is just my job.
Returning home after another tough tour in Europe, the Toyota Cheetahs were back in Bloemfontein and back at training. We recently caught up with local Supersport commentator Christo Olivier, who took time out of his rigorous schedule to share his thoughts on the season thus far.
Obviously, it hasn't been a good start for the Cheetahs to the Pro 14 campaign this year, and I think there are certain reasons for that. One of them is that the Cheetahs are once again in a building phase, and I know there are supporters who get annoyed when you use the word building phase, but that's the reality of the Cheetahs. I mean, they lost something like 15, 16 players from last season, and they were good players. Francois Venter, Makazole Mapimpi, Torsten van Jaarsveld, Uzair Kasim, Clayton Blommetjies. I can carry on like this. And then obviously many new players come into the system, and they have to get used to the new environment and the structures and so on. So yeah, it's not nice to hear they're building again, but I mean, unfortunately that is the reality. And it was a bit much to expect that they can just continue this year from where they left last year. They didn't have a good start last season as well to the competition, but in the end they reached the quarterfinals, so everything is not lost yet. So let's give them a chance and see how it goes. Defence with the Cheetahs has always been a problem, even since their Super Rugby days. I mean, last year they conceded 68 tries in this competition and only 3 other teams had a worse record. Then this year in their 6 matches they've already conceded 32 tries, which is by far the most of all 14 teams. I mean, even the Kings are second best with 26 tries, and then I think the Dragons with 23. So defence is a big problem. I also think they should really speed up their intensity on the attack. They should be more dominant at the contact areas, and yeah, the service should be quicker. They should play quicker, and then they should just execute a bit better. They have their chances. They had their chances in all the matches, but then they spill it. So they must just be more clinical also on the attack and in execution. We all know that the Cheetahs love expansive rugby. They want to play expansive rugby. They want to play running rugby. So in that sense, I don't think there will be too much of a difference. Maybe here and there, when it comes to certain tactical things, there might be a difference, but I think overall, there shouldn't be too much of a difference. I must be honest, Tian Skuman is doing well. Louis Fouchier, I think, can add with his experience. And then Bernard Janssen van Rensburg at outside centre is doing very well. And remember, he has to fill very big shoes, that of Francois Venter, who left the team, and he was such a big star in the Cheetahs team. But Bernard Janssen van Rensburg, who is actually a fly half, but he's doing very well at number 13, and yeah, he is one of the big assets, I think, to the team at the moment. A player that everybody is talking about at the moment is Raps Maxwane, the wing. If I remember correctly, he's one of the top try scorers in the competition. Oxenshare, as usual, he's a very good player. He scrums well, carries the ball well, and he tackles almost like Os Durant in the days gone by. So they are some of the players who are standing out. Michael Jahr, unfortunately, he was injured, and he did not accompany the team on their recent tour to Europe, but he's also a very promising player, and he is doing very well. One of their problems in the past was the fact that they struggled in the away games, because getting used to the conditions in Europe was always a big problem for them. At home, fortunately, they did very well last season. I think they only lost 2 games at home. And the big positive for them now, their next 4 games will be home games. So hopefully, if they can find their feet in these upcoming home games, the confidence will come back, and you never know what can happen. Hopefully that it will be a positive outcome, and that the Cheetahs will sort of get back on track and play the sort of rugby that the fans want to see, and also to show that they really belong in Pro 14.
The Toyota Cheetahs have always been known by their die-hard and loyal supporters, and they don't come more die-hard and loyal than Brigadier Johan de Beer. We sat down with the Superfan to hear where his love for the men in orange started.
Eintlik baie maklik waar my liefde vir die Cheetahs wel gekom het. Ek het op Tromwil groot geword, en ons skoolleier het ons maar altyd per radio geluister, tot ek eendag in die 60 in die trein geklim het, Bloemfontein toe gery het en op my eie rugby kyk het. Van daar af was dit net Cheetahs gewees. My gunsteling oomblik as 'n Cheetah ondersteuner was definitief toe die Curriebeeker in 2005 as dit met 'n jong span teen 'n baie gedigte bilspan gewen het. Dit het my groot lekker kry gegee, hoor. My gunsteling speler van alle tye is 'n baie moeilike vraag. Want in 50 jaar het ek so tussen al die spelers rondgeloop, dat het my baie onregverdig sal wees. Maar daar was briljante mense. Ek kan maar net 'n paar uitnoem: Dani Gerber, Andre Joubert, Geysie Pinaar, Willem de Waal. Ek kan so voortgaan, en ek wil nie graag om een ou seer te maak, 'n gunsteling speler uitwys nie.
Over the years, Johan has accumulated all forms of Cheetah memorabilia and collectibles, of which he will now showcase his favourites to us.
Hierdie is 'n eenvoudige foto wat ons 'n paar jaar terug geneem het met 'n samekoms van ou Vrystaat rugbyspelers. En ek kan net uitnoem hierso is 'n paar spelers soos Eben Jansen, Teen Stolberg, Gerry Germans, Klippies Kirtinger en Jan Sleeboes. En dit is 'n groot eer vir my gewees, ook as 'n ou man, om saam met hulle so te kan poseer op Vrystaat Stadion. Die volgende op die lys is niks besonder nie. Baie mense het hierdie das, maar as julle kan sien is vir my dit uniek, want elke keer die Vrystaat die Curriebeeker gewen het verskyn die datum op hierdie das en dit is my besonder nice en dit is 'n pronkstuk in my ware. Hierdie rugbyballetjie is nou maar 'n balletjie wat een van my kleinkinders eendag gaan erf. Soos julle kan sien is dit dieselfde klomp spelers wat in 2005 die Curriebeeker finaal op Loftus Versveld gewen het. 'n Besondere try, daar was net 94 van hulle gedruk en ek is gelukkige persoon gewees om een van hulle te kon kry. Hierdie is die belangrikste trui wat hier in my ontspanningsarea hang. Dit is heeltemal anders as huidige truie vandag. Dit is 'n egte woltrui met lang moue en Helger het gewoonlik in 'n nommer 13 trui gespeel en ongelukkig kan ons dit nie vertoon nie, maar nommer 13 is nog steeds op die reg. Ons kom by hierdie Cheetah. Dit is deur 'n broer van my se een kind laat maak in Parys. En sover ek bewus is daar net 3 van hulle gemaak, waarvan ek en my 2 broers al 3 het. Hier is 'n baie goeie vriendin van my. Op hierdie stadium toe ons hierdie trui ontvang het, was sy Malusi Jordan, maar sy is intussen getroud en kan ook melk dat sy die Springbok vroue verteenwoordig het. Dit is 'n baie jong span en ons moet onthou die vertoning sover die eerste 6 wedstryde het hulle verloor. Die een was gelyk op, die een het ons net verloor en ek dink ons as publiek verwag te veel van hulle. Hulle het met 'n tweede span begin want tussen 15 en 18 spelers van verlede jaar het ons verloor en die afragte moet nou van niets af begin om weer span te bou. Ek is baie bly dat Franco weer die span afrig. Ek het niks teen Rory nie. Franco het gekom hier soos 'n youngster so 3-4 jaar terug. En hy het toe 'n jong Shimla span, het hy die Curriebeeker laat wen, waar Rory die span oorgeneem het, ook suksesvol was verlede jaar met Pro 14, maar nou moet Franco weer van voor af met 'n nuwe jong 15-tal begin en ek glo, gee hom 'n jaar of wat kans en hy sal weer 'n suksesvolle afrigter wees. Ek wil sê veral vir my wat my beïndruk is Ox en Joseph, die voorspelers, en Nico Lee, briljante senter, wat ek glo, hy gaan nog baie verder kom. En hy gaan nog Springbok speel. Die boodskap vir my vir die teachers is maar, speel julle eerlike, volle rugby. Hou by die wedstrydplan en speel vir 80 minute. En ek glo, dit sal goed met julle.
After being named as captain for the 2018-19 campaign, Teboho Mohoje was dealt a heartbreaking blow after sustaining a season-ending injury in their opening match. We caught up with the flank to hear what went wrong on that day.
Well, how I got injured, Sean fainted past the ball from the ruck and I jumped up to catch it. But as I landed, I wanted to land and step on the inside. But immediately as I landed, I felt my knee go in and out and I fell. But I think 2 seconds later, I realized that this is actually some real serious pain. So at that time, because I had the ball, at that time, everybody was just falling on me. And I was like, guys, just get off me because my knee is actually quite sore. So the Munster players actually helped get my players off me. So it was actually quite great. But yeah, I did. Then I knew that I'm not playing next week. One thing I know for sure is that I won't be playing, so I probably will be going home. And they were hoping for the best, which is actually an MCL. And yeah, I came and did test and they said it was my ACL, so yeah. The recovery is coming along very, very well. I've been doing rehab literally from the first day after the operation. I think I'm in good hands as well with Butchery, JP. He's helping me a lot, so yeah, I really appreciate that. The exercises that I do mainly is to strengthen my quad and my hamstrings, my calves as well. They say it gets lazy after the operation. So just to regain strength and a bit of muscle memory from that. I think the hardest part of the recovery process is being mentally fit. You know, you can be mentally fit for game, but you won't be mentally fit for injuries because you don't hope for one. But that's the hardest part of rehabilitation. And I was advised that actually if I do encounter any problems of difficulty or just mental toughness, I can always go to a psychologist, which is advised. And yeah, so I actually, if it does happen that I get to a point, then I definitely will go see a psychologist. And I think I also would like to recommend a lot of our players in South Africa to go to psychologists if they're facing difficult problems, because our careers are only so short and we have to make the best out of it. So if it means that seeing a psychologist is the best idea, then so be it. I keep myself busy to have a clear mind. I've been spending a lot of time with family. You know, I think the first 10 days I was just sitting in bed, you know. My brother was doing everything for me, obviously, which was a bit of an inconvenience for him. But yeah, spending a lot of time with family, you know, taking care of the things that will matter when I end rugby. I think obviously the scoreboard doesn't reflect the way we've been playing. We know what we've lost. We've lost a lot of players, so we've had to literally, you know, start all over again. You know, we didn't use that as an excuse, but we also don't forget the reality. The guys are getting better by the game. You know, I think, you know, the first 2 games was a bit shaky in terms of the Currie Cup, but you know, we have been growing, we have been developing a bit, especially when we play at home. You know, hopefully in the future we can turn those exciting moments into winning rugby. So when I'm expected to be back on the field, it's 9 months, but with the rehab and everything, I think we'll be ready to run 7 or so months. But you know, we have to listen to the physios, and they say that the chances of re-injuring it are so high. You know, you have to take about 9 months or so. So yeah, I'll start playing with the team again within about 9 months or so. Yeah.
Cheetah fans, we are on our way to Ladybrand in the Free State, visiting our partners and sponsors OVK. Please come and have a look.
It's a good day today here in the Free State. We're visiting OVK here in Ladybrand. Very excited to see what they do here, and it's great to be here.
Dit is tradisioneel dat die boere is groot rugby ondersteuners, en ek dink ons is met ons hoofkantoor in die Vrystaat is ons regtig trots om geassosieer te wees met Vrystaat Rugby. OVK het sy rybaan, ons grootste rybaan binne in die groep, het ons opgegradeer en is vandag die amptelike opening. Ons is 'n total rybaan nou. Ons is baie trots om met Toyota ook geassosieer te wees. Ek dink dit is die markleier in Suid-Afrika. En was dit ook vir ons lekker om gedurende die afgelope jaar 'n agentskap, die Aard Toyota, by ons by die OVK stal buite gevoeg het. So ons is regtig, ons is trots Toyota.
Dit is vir ons 'n voorreg om met die Cheetah saam te werk. En dit is ook daarom wat ons elke jaar bereid is om in te staan en daai vennootskap te hou. En dis ook nie net ons na hulle toe nie. Die Cheetahs, soos wat hulle vandag nou weer wys, kom van hulle kant af ook verpligtinge na, en hulle is deel van ons en ons deel van hulle. So dis 'n lekker vennootskap en ons is bly om dit te kan hê en dit van albei kante af kom, dat dit net 'n eensidedige ding is. So.
Ons het al 'n paar jaar wat ons die karre en bakkies voorsien. Dit om te kan sien dat ons 'n redelike wenspan ondersteun met 'n redelike fabrikaat. En as ook deel vorm van die groter Toyota ooreenkoms en verhouding daarmee met Cheetah Rugby. Die van nabyheid van Bloemfontein hier so is of as Saterdag sien ons maar die mannery. Dis 'n baie goeie aanknopingspunt op 'n maandagooggend wanneer meneer Boer wil kom bakkie diens en kom bakkie koop. Dan is die Cheetahs maar redelik deel van die geselskap.
That's all for this month. For more information on all things Cheetah, log on to our brand new website at www.fscheetah.co.za, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for all the latest happenings, photos and uploads. So until next month, keep supporting, and as always, freestyle! Cheetah, alle mannen cheetah, 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 alle
certainly call